something good, there might be something bad. Always turns out with the things you see. I think it tells me good, bad, weird. Yeah, it's good, bad, weird. Good, bad, weird. Good, bad, weird. Good morning from Bellambi Beach. This is Good, Bad, Weird, live on location. How's that? That sounds really pro.
Another one. It was quite good, Steve.
It sounds very pro.
You're getting good at that.
Yeah. That's all we got.
Look at this. So what you see behind you, viewers, is Woonona. What else are we taking?
Well, it's sort of Bellambi Lagoon.
Bellambi Lagoon.
Then it.
Woonona. Bulli.
Well, I think you can see as far as Bulli. Yeah.
I think
So
so.
we're looking at the coast. So the idea of this is to show basically where we kind of live.
So this is where we live. This is our segment. This is where we live.
All right.
So this is where we live.
That's the idea of it.
What do you know about this place, Steve?
Well,
Apart from its amazing beauty,
there's a seal over there. That's what I know.
there is a seal.
I think we got footage of the seal.
Taking a couple of shots.
So there's a couple of shots of the seal. You'll see that. So for the last 2 months, we've had a seal living on the rock at Bellambi Beach, which is officially known as a dog beach. So that the strategy, of course, is to keep the dogs away from the seal.
And they've got some bunting just to the side of us. They've got 3 witches' hats and some bunting, red and white bunting. Do you think the dogs know not to go behind it?
The dogs have been really good, actually. The humans have been less obedient, but the dogs definitely have seen the bunting and the witches' hats and gone, oh, we don't go there, and have been very good.
I'd agree with you, Steve. The first thing I did was go past the bunting to take a photo of the seal.
That's the first thing I did, and
Yeah.
and I'm watching a dog do its business right in front of The reason
This happens on these broadcasts, Steve.
This happens.
Anything can happen, including that.
That happened. But the good thing is we're watching the owner pick it up again, which is fantastic.
Yeah, we don't need to be distracted by that.
We
We've got
don't.
all this behind us. We've got all this going on. There's people here to see the seal.
Yeah.
It's actually a hive of activity. There's a lot of people over there.
There's a lot of
walking
people,
their
so
dogs.
the dog beaches are extremely popular in Wollongong because why? Because there's nowhere else to run your dog, really, is there?
True. I was surprised actually because we set the couch up on the beach.
Yeah.
And then we headed back to the car to grab a few
No
items.
dogs jumped on the
On the couch?
No dogs jumped on it. I thought the first thing they would have done. Oh, there's my couch. I'm on that.
Hey! Oh, I just expected this thing to be covered in sand, which would have been hilarious.
It would have
actually.
been, but no,
That's all
not
right.
one dog. I got to say, the dogs are pretty well behaved.
So currently, we'll see how we go. We've probably got another 25 minutes left.
It's actually weird that they're so well behaved. Weird. Do we want to see more bad behaviour? This is the thing. We've got a lot of bad behaving flies. I didn't know there was flies down here yet. So we're coming we're in spring now. So of course we've got
Yeah.
the bugs coming out.
It can get a little fliesy around this part of the world this
Can it?
time of year.
Yeah, fliesy.
Fliesy. That's the term that
Flies.
I use
Yeah, well,
to
when
describe
it's,
how many flies we've got
I was told when it's dry,
here.
when the weather's dry for a long period, you get flies,
Yeah.
and when it's wet for a long period, you get mosquitoes.
Yeah. Okay. That kind of.
That's what I'm told.
Yeah.
So obviously, with all the flies around, we're getting the dry, really dry.
So welcome to where we live.
So this is for our international viewers and
Steve's a little upset, I'll be honest, with the amount of surf that's going on behind us.
I don't know what I'm sitting on a beach here looking at a microphone when
You're not even looking at the view.
no, I can't even see it. I'm looking at my
You can
back.
hear it.
My back is. It's like those people that go to a gig
Yeah.
and they sit in the chair right in front of the stage with their back to you,
Talking to their
talking
mates.
to their mates, thinking,
And their mates are looking at them like, just shut up,
"Just shut up."
Harry, shut up.
You say the band's really good.
I mean, you've been surfing a long time, Steve. In fact,
Yeah, I've been surfing since I was about 11.
You've been surfing for longer than you've been playing
Alive.
the guitar, yeah?
Yeah, actually.
Mm. And when you sit here,
and I'm still no good at it.
when you sit here and you can hear the waves behind you, I know you haven't looked. But
Yeah.
do you know if it's a left or right-hander just by listening to it?
Oh, but yeah, you can, yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that one?
Well, it's definitely a right-hander.
A right-hander.
Yeah,
It is a right-hander.
yeah. yes.
Well-trained ears.
Oh, yeah, look, I'm great at observing. I'm no good at actually catching the waves. No matter how long or how much effort I put into surfing, I still have not improved from the first day I actually fell off a surfboard.
It's about participation, isn't it?
I don't think it matters. See, there's this theory that if you give a monkey 1,000 hours,
Of
or just 1,000
Anything.
hours or 10,000 hours or something, to do anything, it'll eventually figure out how to do it. So if you give a monkey a guitar and 1,000 hours, it'll eventually play, classical gas or something. This is the theory.
classical gas.
Or some,
Just remind me how classical gas goes again.
I can't sing.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, but some fantastic, guitar piece.
Oh, okay. I
So-
just thought
so
it was
I've
classical
smashed
gas.
that
I
theory.
just thought all the monkeys I've ever trained to play guitar, they've only ended up playing classical gas.
This is the thing that any time any guitar teacher teaches a kid guitar, they work up to the time that they can play classical gas. That's where they. I don't know if they do that so much now. Now it's more like, I don't know, what is it?
Smoke on the water?
Smoke on the well. That's the first thing you play.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go, guitar teacher.
But I've smashed that theory because I've done way more than 1,000 hours on surfing, and I'm still no better at it. So
Surfing's many things. A lot of those many things is riding a board on a wave. But it's also
well, that's kind of it, really. And,
no.
If you
It's
don't actually
getting
ride,
out.
if you don't actually ride the board on a wave,
What I'm trying to get at, Steve, is
Well, I call it- yeah.
spent many hours
you got there. I've seen you on a wave.
occasionally.
I've seen you on a wave.
I spent hours and hours and hours, days,
Oh, look, days.
paddling out
Yeah.
in waves
Yeah.
and really not catching much,
No,
if anything.
No, we
And you go back again the next day, and the next
another
day.
We called it. I call it swimming with board.
No, what? Paddle practice.
I call it
Swimming
paddle.
with board.
I call it swimming with board.
Yeah.
And if it's particularly large,
Yeah.
I call it survival with board,
So-
where it's a flotation device where you don't drown. As the waves are huge.
Yeah, I have run into that problem myself when my leg rope snapped and I almost. It got close.
It gets close.
It got as close
Yeah.
to the other side as I'd ever come in my life was that day, and it was at Macaulay's.
Macaulay's.
I was stuck in the rip.
Ah.
I was shattered. The board was
Yeah.
on the shore, and I was paddling back to the shore.
Oh, right.
Trying to swim back, and I could feel the current just sucking me
You
out.
just.
And I was tiring, and I was like,
Oops. Yeah, you just got to relax. The thing I found as I get older is I can't hold my breath as long.
oh no.
So when you're under a wave and it just keeps pumping you under the water and you're going, well, I can't hold my breath any longer now. I need to breathe in,
Yeah.
and you're still under the water.
And you go up, and then the wave
Yeah.
is.
Or when it's particularly big and you're above the water, but then there's the foam.
The
And
foam.
You still can't breathe in the foam, but it's like huge anyway, and so you can't float in foam, so you can't get above that. So you just like, yeah.
So the question that comes to my mind now, Steve, is why the hell do we do it?
Well, we're bothering less and less, I can tell you.
Yeah, I've got new pursuit. Don't I?
Well,
The bike.
yeah,
I'm still riding the bike.
I don't see you out there at all. Like you used to come to my door in a wetsuit. So we're going. I don't see.
When we were neighbours,
now you
Steve,
come to
things
my
were different.
you come to my door with a microphone and a camera.
In camera. Let's go, Steve.
Let's go. We sit on the beach and sure.
I've got a better idea. Get rid of that surfboard. Let's get a couch.
Let's get a couch.
We're moving into our
Oh,
golden
look.
years, Steve. It's
Well,
time
this
to
is-
put the couch on there.
I got to say, it's probably a bit more enjoyable. You know.
We've had some great comments, a few questions, but some great comments about how comfortable it looks here on the beach. I think we're giving people some great ideas.
Yeah. Well, I offered that woman a seat on the lounge and she wouldn't take it.
Surprising.
But you know, it's quite possible when people have walked their dog several miles up the beach that way,
They're going to need a rest.
they need a rest when they come
We
back.
might have to swap you out. You might have to go out for a while and just drop someone else
just
in.
drop
here
them
and
in
have
and
a bit of a chat.
they can have a chat.
So we call someone over. If we
Well,
get if someone
if they
walks
get-
over, here,
someone gets-
then you come.
Come in, have a
good,
have
bad,
a seat.
weird.
It's good, bad,
It's
weird.
not good, bad,
There's
weird.
nothing weird about this. It's just the guy sitting on the lounge.
Is it on good, bad, weird, Steve? Has there been any good, bad, weird this week?
Yeah, it's been very weird the whole week actually.
You've
Because,
had a weird week?
I've had a weird week because I'm negotiating returning back to work in my old role, and I'm not sure. Working's working, isn't it? You don't want to work, no matter what the job is. Let's not go there about what the job is. Let's just think about, work is a four-letter word of doing arduous activity for not enough money.
It's never enough money, is it? Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
So that was weird because I was offering them for me to do less hours.
Oh, Here we go.
And,
We've got a
and
dog.
they're sort
Does
of
it want
very
to be on the couch?
Well, I think what you've got to do is you've got to show dedication to your employer, haven't you? That you want to be there 24/7. So when you go in there and say, look, hey, 5 days is too much. How we just knock that back a bit, They sort of look at you strangely going, is this guy, so...
Yeah. The work from home option's a good one.
Work from home, but it's still working.
Difficult for my job to do that, but you could.
Well, I think
could
if
do
you could just get that 380 into your driveway...
It's a big driveway. Not
I
to call
think it's-
runways, those driveways.
Yeah. If they could just taxi that thing into your driveway, I'm sure you'd be keen to work it. You've got enough tools there.
Yeah, we could do a podcast from there.
Well, I could come and help you. I'm sure I could, break
love it.
break a few nuts and bolts on the plane.
Love it.
Yeah.
Now, so
Yeah.
you don't want to work.
I do, yeah, well, let's...
Gives you something to do, Steve. What would you be doing otherwise?
Well, I'll be doing podcasts, recording, playing music, surfing, sitting on a couch on the beach.
People get money doing that sort of thing. People have made a living from doing that sort of thing. Steve.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe. I think that's all just, sales. That's to convince people to go out and do a podcast and then pay the hosting fee. Because one day...
Working, isn't it? Haven't paid anything yet, but it's it's on. Something's been uploaded.
Yeah,
They're asking for money now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we've got to come through with the payment situation.
I'm just gonna. It's a little bit more editing, Steve. Just gotta do the final cuts.
The final cuts.
Yeah.
Well, I'm impressed with your dedication to editing. I think it takes an awful lot of dedication to edit because you've got to look at the same footage several times over.
I know what my voice sounds like now, and yours.
Yeah. You got to
Through
tune out.
headphones.
You got to tune out to your own voice. You're going nuts if you start judging your own voice. It's always horrible,
Oh, it's horrible anyway. You just got to work with what you got.
That's what I always say, whether you got a good voice. Well, what is a good voice? I mean, what is that thing? They say they put this person up as a great singer, and that's a great voice. That's only a great voice by these parameters. If you say, by these other parameters, that's probably a terrible voice. It's too in tune.
Too in tune.
Too in tune.
You're out.
Yeah,
Your tuning's
you're out,
just spot on, mate. Get out.
Where's that sort of, radical sensibility of just getting a bit off tune and a bit,
It's not the 90s anymore, Steve. The 90s are a long time ago.
Yeah, I know.
Music's changed with the digital age.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's changed.
There's no feel with music anymore, is there?
Yeah, no. But the thing is, people put things up and say, well, that's the way, so people now say music is this. So if you say to someone, what is music? They'll play you a thing with a doof beat and probably auto-tune vocals.
Yeah.
If you went back into the 16th century and said, what is
16?
music?
Yeah. Be a lot of violin.
A lot of violin, and all the,
Piano.
lutes and pianos and
Lutes?
harpsichords and stuff. And they say, that's music.
Well, that's. I don't mind listening to that stuff occasionally.
So it's all just,
remarkable stuff,
it's all what parameters you call it. So my parameters are very different to what's commercially...
Because you weren't born in the 1600s?
No, because I don't think if I was in the 1600s I wouldn't be commercially viable then either.
We're having a chat in the car here, Steve, on the long 5-minute drive out here, and we were discussing the new bar that's going to be opening soon. We've got a brewery bar opening up.
the new bar,
And you were upset.
Well, I'm just predicting that, will they put entertainment on? And what they call entertainment will be some 80s, 90s cover band. Come on, it'll be some
You were
guy...
saying that they're going to... The prerequisite will be you got to do covers.
Look, if I go to another market and see some sad individual with an acoustic guitar doing some simpering version
How
of...
do you think those sad individuals now listening to our podcast are feeling, Steve? You're calling them sad individuals.
Well, they are. They're sitting there and playing this whimpering version of Bob Marley songs, I shot the sheriff in this sort of sickly, sweet sort of, you shot the sheriff for Christ's sake. This is the voice of revolution. We're not sitting there as background music, Hey,
Papa.
we got a puppy.
We got doggos.
Did you
They
want to
wanna
see?
be on the couch.
Oh, would you like a seat? We're offering free seating, but you have to.
Doggo.
But you have to talk. If you want a seat, you have to talk. That's the only thing.
We got one trying to get up here.
Up. There we go. Up. See ya.
See you, buddy.
Yeah, see the dogs. Oh no, there we go. Dog's going past the barrier.
And we're back.
We're back.
we'd gone away for a little bit. Facts, amazing facts on Woonona, because this is about
All
where
right,
we
yeah,
live,
facts,
isn't it, Steve?
all right. Yeah, it's about, well, yeah, because no one else is here.
No,
So if they're listening to this, how do we sort of tell? They can hear the beach.
you near the beach.
That could be just white noise that we've put in by a synthesizer, though.
Woonona is very famous, but probably not widely known. But this is the first place where Cook tried to land.
Nah.
Yes.
I think he tried to land in all sorts of places.
No, Steve, you can see it here.
I think it was-
you probably see it on the camera, but there's
That
a
guy
place
was
there
lost
called-
from where he set off. It's like, like in a cork.
Captain Cook was lost when he
was
set
just-
off.
They set him off.
He left
and
Whitby.
He just in his barge.
or London or wherever
Yeah,
it
they
was.
just followed this current because that's all the thing had to do. I mean, you see the front of that thing. There's no point on it. It's just like,
It was designed for carrying coal.
yeah. So well, he
Originally,
came to
the
the right
boat was.
place, didn't he?
Viewers, listeners, the mountains, the escarpment behind us, there's a lot of coal mining on there. So
Yeah.
it is.
So if you're going to discover
point.
a country that's got a lot of coal, you would want to go on a coal barge.
It's so fitting, isn't it? The story is that
Well, that's
Cook
because of-
sailed
yeah,
past here. They're
yeah.
desperately low on water, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
figured they saw Collins Creek, so a creek
yeah.
in here, and they sent a boat out to try and land, but the surf, beautiful surf. It was
So they-
probably beautiful right
So
hand that day.
all the crew were out surfing.
The crew's out surfing, not gathering water.
I know, it's just like, well, look at this.
But anyway, the surf was too big, and they couldn't
Yeah.
they couldn't get onto shore, and they sailed a little bit further up and found bloody Botany Bay.
Meanwhile, all the indigenous people are going, look, over there, mate. If you go down there,
There's water.
it's calm there. There's a bay. There's no way. It's just if you go.
Look at
Yeah.
There's a whole boat hunt. There's a boat launch
There's a
here.
whole
Why
boat-
didn't they find this?
Why didn't they
They
just-
sailed straight
just
past
past the boat ramp
Yeah.
onto the
What were they
surf
thinking?
because he wasn't sailing. He was just floating around lost.
Floating around lost.
That's all he was doing.
And then he ended up in the Pacific Islands.
Yeah,
Lost.
just lost, hopeless. Like, Anyway, what do you expect from
He wasn't the first to make it.
He wasn't the
It's an
first.
Well, that's Woonona. He tried. That was
That's
it.
Woonona,
You know,
okay.
it's famous. Not widely known, but that's
What's that way? I didn't know that.
yeah. So
Yeah.
they built a swimming pool there,
Ah, well, there you go. Well, if he'd come later,
full of fresh
if
water.
he'd come later, he could have a swim.
Yeah, just his timing was
I
wrong.
think he's stuffed up.
What else is about this place, Steve?
Oh,
what are the
look.
big facts?
We had coal loaders out here, didn't we? There was like we had a big. Didn't we have a big pier out here?
There
They
was
put-
off Sandon Point.
They put
Sandon Point's a little more north.
I'm pretty sure there's one here too.
Was there? Big
I
jetty.
think there was a big jetty, and they loaded coal onto boats out of here too.
Be surprised.
Anywhere they could put a jetty, they put it.
That escarpment was probably bigger one day, but all the coal they've removed is just
It was bigger, yeah.
fallen down.
Yeah, it was bigger. Yeah, it's all hollow.
What were the
apparently.
facts? 400 metres high, the escarpment there.
Yeah, well, they call it a hill. People from Europe come over here and say, "You call that a mountain?"
Oh, that's a hill. That's not a mountain.
That's just a hill.
Yeah, that's a slight rise
yeah,
above
it's
sea
like,
level. It is, isn't it?
I know it is. You go to Europe and they call a mountain is this huge freaking thing.
You don't have to go to New Zealand, and they have mountains.
Yeah,
they have real mountains.
You haven't
over
been to
there.
New Zealand. You're going to New Zealand soon. You going?
In a couple of weeks.
You are going?
We're going.
You're going? Wow.
Going to do the
There you
campaign.
go. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
That's pretty good.
Oh no, it's going to be great. I'll capture.
Well, you're going to have to do a podcast from there somehow.
Might have to hook up through
Or
technology
just
or
to
something.
do technology. How do you do
Yeah, I
that?
don't
Yeah.
That's you've got to work that one out. Steve.
I'll work that one out.
Will you?
Yeah, I'll work it out.
That's a challenge. Steve's challenge.
Doesn't mean it will happen. I'll work on it.
You'll work on it. You'll look into it.
Me and technology.
You haven't got time to listen to your own podcast, but you'll look into working out how to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Hook up with the phone.
With the phone and the thing. Yeah, we could do 2 camera shoot or something. I don't know. Something like that.
Unlikely we'll be filming it.
Well, we could.
I'm taking it.
You take it. Well, there you go. You could film your side, and you'd be saying, "There's Steve on the other end." You could just pretend I'm there and just do one. Just do it.
Just take your hat,
Just take my hat.
put it on something like a mop, and just have someone move it a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just Steve looking away from the camera. Let's give that a go.
I think it'll work. Yeah, that sounds good.
What are the stats we got here, Steve? This is all about where we live.
Oh, is it?
It's a nice place to live.
Is this what it's about?
Yes.
You don't want to tell them it's a
That's what
nice
this
place.
segment's-
Why do you want to tell them it's a nice place to live? It's terrible. Don't come here.
Look at those pelicans in the background. Who gets pelicans?
The house prices are expensive enough.
Well, that's enough to drive people away, isn't it?
Well, maybe. Unless you want to sell your house and you're trying to lift the price up.
We might have to sell the house with the development next door. Anyway, we're going to hear more about that as time goes
As time
on.
goes, we could do a
We'll be trying to do a podcast and we'll hear the development going on, the construction.
be these jackhammers going on. You'll love it.
Everyone's looking forward to that time.
You'll be over there helping them.
Oh, God. I don't know if you can see that, viewers, but it's only a very small distance, short distance from the ocean to the escarpment, isn't it? It's very,
Yeah.
very
Well, that's
fine.
what we're known for.
Definitely flies here, Steve.
Yeah, you're getting them. Yeah, we've got the escarpment right next to the sea, which is supposed to affect our weather. Well, that's why it's supposed to
Is it?
rain. Yeah, it rains here more because it sits on over the hill there.
This side of the escarpment rains more, or
Yeah.
the Great Dividing Range,
No.
which is
No,
you know
this-
what behind that?
This side.
This side.
Yeah, we get the rain.
We certainly get the wind.
We get the wind. Yeah.
It channels up. There's a gap. There's a gap in the escarpment. Further south, there's a gap in the escarpment. Apparently, that it just funnels through there. That wind,
Well, that'd be right.
and then hits our house directly.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. You know all about the wind. Yeah, I know. We're up there. It was so windy. Come down here, wasn't it?
I got a little deflated this morning. I'll be honest,
Yeah.
listeners.
I got the
contacted
text.
Steve and
Yeah.
I said, Steve, it's off. Because
Yeah.
I'd planned this all week. I knew where we were going to go, but this was the exact location. I said, Steve, it's off.
Right.
It's blowing a gale outside.
Yeah. I'm not seeing any wind at all.
Steve's at home. You could probably see his house if you look carefully over there.
Yeah.
And Steve said, "What wind is there?" I'm like, What's the wind? It's blowing a gale. There's no wind here,
No,
so
there's no wind.
we'll see how we go. There's a bit of breeze.
It's starting to come up now, so I think we've got to we're going to have to wrap this up. I think we're going to start getting wind now.
Look at that wave.
Well, it's starting to get ruined by the onshore. So there's onshore and offshore winds here. Of course, when we get technical, the offshore winds is what you want with the wave.
Yeah.
So it's now starting to come onshore, as you can see by the wrinkles starting to happen in the waves.
The wrinkles on the waves, everybody.
Yeah.
Might be able to see that.
So that guy's not doing very well out there, is he? He's just sitting there.
That red boy,
Yeah.
that's a marker. When's that optometrist appointment, Steve? When you get your eyes looked
About
at?
a year away, it'll be right. But you walk along here and you're just looking at that guy there and you think, he's just doing nothing.
He's not catching any waves.
That's what we do. We just sit out there and chat and it's really nice just sitting out there.
Why is there no one surfing here?
I've seen people out there, you know. I'm tempted. Yeah, I guess it's because you can't get back in again because you're just in front of rocks. How do you get back in? Oh, there we go. There's a guy on a canoe.
You got a boat ramp behind here.
Yeah, you have to go around there, do you? Yeah, well, I think we have to try that. All right then. What have you been up to this week, apart from scouting locations?
Yeah, I did a couple of recce's here. I've ridden the bike a lot.
Ah, yes.
40 k's yesterday in the escarpment that you can see behind us, viewers, listeners.
Did
Well,
we
you
talk?
can't see it,
Did we talk about the bike yet in the last?
Yeah, we spoke
did.
about the bike.
We haven't filmed it, have we?
No, we're not filming.
We're going to have to do a bike episode.
A bike. Are you going to bring your favourite bike along? And
I don't have a
too.
bike.
You've got a couple of bikes.
I know. I've got a BMX.
Get some footage of you.
My
on the
son
ramp.
gave me a BMX bike that I gave him.
thanks, son.
So it was,
Was that to say this is rubbish? I don't want this.
no, it was a birthday present.
Oh,
It's great. Been
he's
riding.
given it. He's
Yeah.
re-gifted it to you.
Yeah, he's rebuilt it. Took all the good parts.
This is what's left at. You're like, a wheel would be handy. It often needs two.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, it's great. I'm loving it.
Well, maybe there's a.
I
bike
don't
seat.
know if you'd get up the escarpment with it somehow.
You need some pretty fine equipment to get up that escarpment. So
Yeah,
it's pretty
yeah.
gnarly.
Yeah, it's
stuff.
pretty gnarly stuff. And,
Just last week, as you're listening now, you'll notice that we aren't actually talking to any professors about earworms. I have shared the link to the story on the ABC website.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so.
I'll have to look
So,
at that.
sorry everyone, to disappoint everyone that there is no professor
Did we
here.
contact him?
But you and we could pass
I
as
was gonna
professors.
contact him,
We
wasn't
got
I?
the right hats for looking for professor.
Yeah.
haven't we?
I think
Professor Steve.
I think we need
What
to
would
do,
be your topic? What would be your specialist
obviously
area?
earworm topic.
Earworms, surfing, and BMX,
Well, I think
and music.
I think
You
just,
do well at music.
Well, how to survive without doing any work.
Specialist.
Specialist. We get well.
You're the SME for how to not do any work.
I think
You're giving a lot away, Steve,
Well,
about
you know.
yourself, aren't you?
No, but I think in the future we're not going to have any work because all the robots are going to do it.
Who's going to look after the robots?
Well, no one has to. The robots look after the robots.
That's when we're in trouble.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
We're in trouble when they've built robots to look after the robots.
We've already got computers that write code for computers, so they can write code faster than we can write it. So if that means that we're not going to have any jobs, then we're going to have to get really used to living without working.
Looking at how old you are now, Steve, I don't think you need to worry about that yet. I think you'd be lucky to see that before your time's up.
Oh, I don't know. This government wants me to work till I'm 72. That's quite a way away.
Do you imagine robots working on aircraft
You
like
imagine
what I do?
72-years-olds working, you know. it's
I
like,
could sit and watch that all day long and just feel quite comfortable going, wow, that's work I don't have to do anymore because the robot's doing it. With his
Yeah.
little robot fingers
I
and
don't
his
think I want to watch that. Really.
little robot
I
wrenches.
think that'd be really boring. I think I'd rather be off doing something else and say, "Oh, you guys just handle that. I'll go and do something I'm not going to do."
And then that robot breaks down and the other robot goes, oh, I know
Shit.
what's wrong with Robot Boy.
Frank Robot.
Robot Boy he's broken his wrist.
Yeah, so
We'll
Eric
and a
comes
couple
and-
of robots come over and fix his little robot wrist.
Do you reckon
with
that'd
their
be-
robot
Yeah.
appendages?
Do you reckon there'd be bullying in that working place? One robot just gets a bit, uppity and starts belting up the other robot.
This is starting to sound like a science fiction model, isn't it?
It's like, look at that robot. Oh, look, he's too slow. He's a Mark 1. I'm a Mark 2. I'm twice as fast.
Cut his wage.
Cut his. Do you pay robots? What are they going to spend money on?
High-tech equipment.
High-tech equipment.
This is well beyond you. Oh, wow. No.
Yeah, anyway.
Stop it. Stop
Well,
it.
see,
Stop
my
that.
kid-
You need people to look after the robots, Steve.
Probably not.
Technicians, probably.
No, I think we've got to get used to life because everyone's on this whole bent. See, everyone's on this whole bent that we've got to work more and harder, and you got to go to work and you got to show that. Oh man, I left at 5:30 instead of 5 because I'm that dedicated. I come into work half an hour early. I'm leaving half an hour later. I'm sending a text or an email on a Saturday.
Oh, on your
Because
home,
I'm
work
thinking
from
about
home.
work on a Saturday. I'm my own time, and the employer's going, the boss is going, wow,
What a guy.
Frank, man, look at him go.
I'm talking about yourself. You weren't talking about
I
yourself.
don't do things like that. But so I think there's a place for people that don't do that, just to chill all these other people out. Or if they enjoy doing that so much, they can pay for me not to do it so much.
There are people in this world, and I'm included in that, who don't mind going to work and doing some work.
There you go. And you guys should be paying for me. Just doing podcasts.
I should be.
Yeah.
Steve's really good at those podcasts. I'm going to pay him.
Just pay him for doing the podcast. No.
You might find someone else who agrees with that, Steve. They might start.
The thing is, when you're not working, you're actually working twice as hard.
I hope that
that's another
I
crap.
hope that pelican landing on there we got in the shot, because look what we're surrounded by here. This is just paradise. Well, it's not paradise.
No, it's terrible.
It's
Why
terrible.
are you selling this place to people? Next time we're going to set up.
Look how awful it is.
We're going to set up at the dump next time.
It's not a bad idea, is it?
I think we should set up at the dump next
There'll
podcast.
be seagulls there and ibis.
There'll be seagulls and
There'll be a lot
ibis.
of wildlife.
There'll be a lot of wildlife. There'll be a lot of activity. There'll be big machinery doing things.
Now you can't see this, listeners,
Yeah.
and you can't see this, viewers, either, because that dog is behind the camera. But I don't think a dog is ever happier than when he's at the beach, or she at the beach. Yeah. Would you agree?
Do you think that's
The happiest time for a dog is at the beach?
Well, that's probably it's the same with everyone, really.
Anyone?
Yeah, ibis,
I've got a
pelican,
friend who doesn't go, hates sand.
hate sand. Well,
Hi, Tomo.
Well, you can.
He hates sand.
Yeah,
He won't go on the beach. He hates sand.
Hates.
Won't go on the beach.
Wow. I think
His
we need,
poor children.
I think we need.
His poor children.
I think
my
we
God.
need to get him past that phobia. Do you know what we should do? Like sneakily, just put a little bit of sand in his bed.
Oh. And I know every episode we've mentioned this guy And there's every chance that you're never going to see him, Ben.
Oh, Ben. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, Ben.
I've got a great...
Does he really exist?
I'm not going to tell the story
Does
now,
he
but
really
there
exist?
is a fantastic story about sand in beds
Really? With Ben?
in a hotel that we stayed at.
Oh, right. So you just keep increasing the sand in the bed or something?
We didn't put it there.
All right. Okay. We didn't put it there. Ben didn't put it there.
I do believe... I'm wondering... There'll never be a Ben in the
Ah.
podcast, right?
I think we should. I think, well, does
We'll
Ben...
get people in to talk about Ben.
Does Ben really exist?
The next guest has got to come in and talk about Ben.
I think we should just do a podcast about Ben.
In some ways,
At the
all these
dump.
podcasts are all about Ben.
They are all about Ben. Maybe that's what we should call it. Instead of good, bad, weird, just call it all about Ben.
So, did you just say the next podcast that we do is at the dump, and that'll be the one about Ben? Ben, there's a song called Ben, isn't there? Michael Jackson or
I
something.
don't know. I wrote a song for Ben.
You
We
did?
all wrote
You
songs.
did?
Yeah, we wrote songs for Ben.
We all did.
Ben O Ben.
Ah, for the website.
Yeah, Ben
There's
O
a web-
Ben.
There's a Ben
There's a
website.
Ben website.
There you go.
Ben O Ben. It was a good song.
Do you remember how it
It was
goes?
very punk. No,
It was punk.
it was very punk.
You're punk. You do some good punk.
So yeah, I know. Yeah. So that's Ben.
How do you think we've gone?
I think we're going very well.
It's episode 5.
Are you kidding me?
No.
5.
Yeah. Soon enough, the next one will be episode 6.
Yeah. That's pretty good. At the dump.
It's been nice. It's been nice.
It's a bit
I'm not. I'm not 100% sure about the dump.
Oh, that'd be great.
This used to be a dump.
This was. It is a dump. Don't come here, folks.
Still is a dump.
That's a dump.
Nice place to visit.
Yeah. You're gonna stay here.
Make sure you say good day when you drive past.
Yeah. Just as you're passing through.
Yeah. Beep your horn.
Lots of really good spots down south.
Further south.
Oh yeah, you just pass through. Where was the dump?
It used to be. I think Ocean Park.
Ocean Park.
Ocean Park used to be a dump. I think.
Which is Ocean
I'm quite
Park?
sure. I've done all my research.
Yeah.
Ocean Park. So just north of Collins Rock.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. You know where the playing fields are.
Playing fields. That was
The rugby
dump.
field.
They were a dump.
There used to be a dump. Yeah.
It's understandable. You always put sporting fields on a dump. You know that.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
This has gone long enough, Steve.
I think so. I think we've done well. I think there's enough footage for you to edit.
Yeah,
So we've got to sign off now.
we do. I'm just going to take a call. Hello.
Yeah, cool.
Steve and I are just on the beach doing a podcast.
How did you know it was ringing? Oh, it's vibrating.
We're going live to the
Oh,
viewers and the listeners.
Yep.
I'm on the phone. Looks good. We're just winding up. Hey, babe. Sorry.